But
That's what he requested.
Yes.
They can come up with all this stuff, but in the end, they have to say, here's a guy with 60,000 disciples, 40 years of initiating. Now he is doing Apa Siddhanta. That's not keeping the Acharya in the center.
Yeah. So,
And because there's no rules, that's something you might want to mention to Vasudeva Shosha. Because there's no rules with a guy with Jaipataka, there's no way to say this has to be Prabhupada in the center. That was then, this is now. Now I'm in the center. I'm the guru, I'm in the center. That's how he used to talk to Prabhupada when Prabhupada was in 1972 also. Prabhupada. He used to talk to him like that. Totally disagreeing with Prabhupada. Openly, in front of everybody. And he is supposedly a successor.
And what's his name again?
Who?
my name?
No, the person that we're talking about that's trying to be Prabhupada's successor.
Oh, they're all trying to be Prabhupada's successor.
The biggest idiot of the world. Tell me
And
his name, Prabhu.
what's his name?
Jaipataka.
Jai Pataka.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to look him up. Jai Pataka.
Yeah.
biggest
You can't find him under
president of
Jaipataka. You could go under his nickname, which is Jaya Potato Head.
Jai Pataka. Thank you.
Potato head. Haribol. Good one, Prabhu. Haribol.
So you see, look at this, Mohit Prabhu. Look at the situation we're in. We're having to argue for truth, opposed to relativities. Why do we have to argue against relativities when God is absolute?
Exactly. All just because of their fame and just power and fame.
Yeah.
Just because of this, they've ruined everything. Yeah.
Yeah, money and power.
Offending Prabhupada. I mean,
But
purest devotee.
The way they justify it is easy because they're, Kanista Adhikari means you may be a great devotee, you may be very advanced, you may be sannyasi, dressed in the right clothing, with doing all the right things, worshiping Shalagram Shila, chanting Hare Krishna, chanting all year rounds, doing everything perfectly, still you're in bodily consciousness. There's no way out of it. The only way to be out of bodily consciousness is to surrender to the spiritual master. And since they want to be the spiritual master, obviously they haven't surrendered to the spiritual master. So to become an actual guru, you have to be non-different than your guru. That's the reality. Now, we get this different feedback that, oh, he's there, and if he falls down in so many different ways, he's been calculated, he's been measured and evaluated, falling down. He's fallen down in so many ways, now you can just accept Prabhupada as your guru. Well, why not at the beginning? Why go through that process when the guru doesn't do anything except possibly take on your karma?
Exactly.
If he takes on your karma, then what? If he falls down, and this is what our friend doesn't calculate. If you fall down, if the guru falls down, you take Prabhupada, okay. But what happens to the karma that you gave your guru?
Exactly.
Was he able to
need to
transfer
understand.
it? Just to be understood that as long as he hasn't fallen completely down, that he is transferring that karma to Krishna? Or do we understand that he took it on himself as part of the business deal?
He took it on himself and then fallen down. That's what happening. Yeah.
I hate to put in these. I'm sorry, say again, Mohit.
Yeah, bro. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Bro.
I wanted to hear what
I
you
was
were
just
saying.
saying, bro, they're taking it on themselves and then they're falling down, and it's impossible for a fake devotee or a Kanishta devotee also to take a karma and then suffer it. It's not possible. You can see what Prabhupada suffered. He was a pure devotee. You could see it through his eyes, right?
Yeah.
That how much
Ah,
pain
thank
he
you,
was
thank
taking.
you.
How much pain he was
And
taking. These guys can't
he
take it.
said so. He said so. He's thinking about if
Exactly.
you know to suffer. He stated, "I have come here to suffer and take on your sins and suffer for what you have done in your life." He said
Proper
it
line
out
for these
loud.
guys is, if you can't take the heat, don't take the heat, right? These guys are taking the heat of karma which they can't have it, right? That's not possible. Yeah. So
What is it? There's a saying like that, right? If you can't stand the heat, what is it? Or Rupa Majori, do you know? If you can't stand the heat, get out of the what?
Kitchen.
Out of the get
there's
out
a
of the
good
kitchen.
saying. What is it, bro?
Right. If
The
you can't
bedroom.
stand the heat, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Get out.
Get out.
Thanks,
Get
Rupa.
out of the bedroom.
Was that Mahaprabhu?
Get the heck out of the bedroom.
Was that Mahaprabhu?
That's me.
Yeah.
No. If you can't handle the heat, get out of Costco.
Exactly right. Wow. Yeah, I can handle the heat. Thank
So
you.
do you know what the? Do you know if I could give an example, a little bit, perhaps weird example? A guru, ISKCON guru, is very much like a pimp, right? And he has all these disciples, meaning hookers. I'm not being funny. It's an actual relationship. The pimp
It's a
controls
natural
the hookers.
relationship.
The
It's a natural
hookers,
relationship.
the hookers make money for the pimp. So what does the pimp do? He has to take on the karma of the hookers because they're doing the work, whatever that is, and he takes they could, if they were married women and they were doing the same, intimate acts with their husbands, they would take the money from their husbands to live on with the kids and the house and the Keurig and the car and the everything. They would have that, and that would be what they get from their relationship with the husband.
Right. That's a very good analogy,
But
right?
when you have hookers, they don't have a husband. They have the pimp. And he sends them out to collect money, and then he takes most of the money.
Yeah. Right.
Actually, he takes it all and then gives them back as little as he can.
Right.
Clothing, drugs, whatnot. Anyhow, but he does that. So look at it, the karma involved. The hooker's using her good karma to sell her body. When she sells her body, she gets money because she's selling her body.
Right.
But she gives the money to the pimp. So like a brahmachari gives the money to the guru. So what happens when she gives the money to the pimp? Well, the pimp is taking on the karma of that transaction.
Right.
And if she has 5 or 10 customers per night times 50 ladies or 20 ladies, if you have that many people, think of the amount of karma the pimp is taking on. So the question is, how can he clear himself of that karma? And the answer is obviously he can't.
Yeah. Right.
He has no means of you say, well, the guru is different. He gives the karma to Krishna. Yeah? Is he a pure devotee? Does he know Krishna? Or is Krishna a piece of marble on the altar that he worships?
Is that why they live short lives?
Who? Pimps?
The guru? No, not the pimps. The gurus.
ISKCON gurus? Oh,
Yes.
some of them live pretty long lives.
Well, they take on the negative karma of all their people, they must live
Yeah,
short.
yeah. Assuming that they do, if they're sincere, like that conversation we had with Chidananda regarding Bhagavan, he was serving Bhagavan hand and foot for years. Then he finally goes to Bhagavan and says, well, Bhagavan, Guru Maharaj, Swamiji, how will I go back to Godhead? And Bhagavan just takes his hand and gestures like that. Can you see it? Yeah. Gestures like that, said, I will take you back to Godhead. And then a few years later, Bhagavan falls down because he took on karma, couldn't get rid of it, and had to now participate in it by going off with a variety of men's wives. That's the guru. I will take you, but he cannot take. So that's the problem, you see. So the only way the guru can take you back to Godhead is if the guru has a relationship with Godhead. That means Uttamadhikari. If the Madhyamadhikari doesn't have that sort of relationship with Krishna, he's just learning to transcendentalize his service to Krishna. Good example is that Brahman, that was thinking of making sweet rice for Krishna. Perfect example of a Madhyamadhikari. He was thinking of people think he's a Uttamadhikari, but that's not, he's a Madhyam. He's thinking, he has a kitchen, he has a temple, he has deities. He's suddenly sitting under a tree in his loincloth with a beard. I mean, he's got nothing. He has nothing, but is in his imagination, in his bhakti, his devotion, Shraddha, he is cooking sweet rice for Krishna in the kitchen, and he's going to offer it to the deity in his imaginary temple. Right? Everyone knows the story. Is that so, right? So what happens? And then sweet rice is too hot. He said, oh, I better put my finger in to see if it's too hot, and it burns his finger. Well, it's imaginary sweet rice. How come his finger burns? Well, that is the Madhyamadhikari platform. Krishna was accepting it, but he had a bit of a joke on the Brahman, didn't he? By burning his finger, but it also gave the Brahman understanding that he was actually making advancement and not simply fantasizing serving Krishna. So the same thing with the pimp. The pimp takes the money from the prostitute, but what does he do with the money? He can buy them fancy clothes, he can buy them drugs, he can buy them food, makeup, whatever it takes. But then most of the money he keeps it himself. And if he's in the mafia, he has to give it to people up the line of the mafia, not just keep it himself. So that's what it's basically like. So anyhow, did I go too far, or do you agree with the point of Mahaprabhu and Ramachandra? Do you agree with the concept?
So that's the way it works. They're selling each other's. Yeah. They're not giving.
Yes.
They're not giving unconditionally like Srila Prabhupada was giving.
Yeah, it's like
It's a transactional deal.
Yeah, exactly. He said, I will be your guru. What do you want me to do? Go out and sell books, like my Shishika. Go out and sell books. What do I do with the money? Do I get to keep it? No, you give the money to me.
Yeah.
But what do I get? Food, a dhoti. You could use a temple car, razor blade to shave your head. Isn't that about the same sort of thing?
That's it.
Well, that's not the way it was with Srila Prabhupada, because the devotees didn't give their money to Prabhupada. They gave their money to pay the bills of the temple. Prabhupada would advise, but the temple president would handle the money, but the temple president wasn't doing the initiation, usually. Anyhow,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
um,
Say something.
yeah, Rishabdev Prabhu, we haven't seen you in a while, Prabhu. You've been doing all right. Where have you been? Are you not getting the messages?
Yeah, I just haven't been able to stay up that late.
Okay, that's fine. So you join whenever you can. You know the schedule now.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
And you have the new schedule, right, Prabhu?
Yes, yes. Tomorrow, and then Saturday, and then maybe Sunday.
All right.
And
Yes.
Even Ramachandra has occupations and can't lead the meeting as the chairman, the way he's doing right now. He will post on WhatsApp which days there are going to be programs
yes,
and who's going to be managing them, or not even. You don't have to say who's going to manage them. It's up to
Yes.
you if you.
What I was gonna say is, what have you been reading? You've been reading any Prabhupada's books, or what have you been up to, Rishabdev Prabhu?
I've been reading the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, Jai, you reading to the kids too, or they're showing some interest?
No, not yet.
Okay, you can read them Krishna book or show them pictures.
Yeah.
It's nice that you're.
Did you know you have children?
Yes.
How old are they?
18, 8, and 5.
Well, the one 5 years old, you can go online and get video programs, and Ramachandra you can do also. You get video programs called Little Krishna. They're made in Bangalore at the Madhu Pandit's people. They're not the very, very best way they could have been done, but they're good. And certainly for little kids, it gives them a very nice sense of Krishna's pastimes.
Okay.
Putana, Krishna stealing butter, all of that.
Yeah, I'm planning on moving over to ISKCON Los Angeles next to it.
You're planning to move there? Oh, very nice. So you can attend the feasts and the programs and the okay. When? Or soon?
Yes, pretty soon. As soon as I get paid, I'm already in the process of getting paid from the VA.
Nice.
And your children will come with you?
No, I'm gonna be living on my own.